Comparing the OnePlus 8 and the OnePlus Z, it's clear that the 8 isn't necessarily a great option for many people anymore. So, OnePlus announced the OnePlus 8 and OnePlus 8 Pro. I don't know now, probably around 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that. With very high starting prices. The Pro starts at $899, but you'll most likely want to upgrade to the $999 version to $1,000 in the OnePlus 8 Pro, and the regular OnePlus 8 is $700 to start, which is kind of crazy for a OnePlus phone, especially one that isn't even a Pro phone. It's just a regular one. When you compare the OnePlus 8 regular to the OnePlus 7T, the OnePlus 7T is just the better option. So with the OnePlus 7T, you get the only thing that's worse than the 7T is that the processor is the Snapdragon 855 versus the Snapdragon 865, and you don't get the 5G with that, which is fine because 5G is not ready yet for mass consumption. It's only in select cities in very urban areas. But the OnePlus 7T, it has the triple camera setup, but it has a telephoto, regular, and wide angle or ultra wide angle lens. Whereas the 8 has an ultra wide, a regular, and then a macro lens, which isn't even as good as the macro mode on the 7T, which uses the ultra wide camera, which is like 16 megapixels or something like that. So it's arguably worse in the camera department. And then just looking at the phone too, it has the curved sides, which some people might like. I think a majority of people do not. It's got a flat screen. It's got the notch in the middle. So instead of having a little punch hole out to the side, it has a notch right in the middle, which in my opinion looks better. But some people might like it in other ways. But just looking at the 8 and the 8 Pro, it's just so weird how they stick the punch hole camera up in the upper left-hand corner, but it can't go all the way in the corner either because the edge is so pronounced that they can't put it on the edge. They have to put it where it's flat, so it's just kind of there. It's weird. But looking at the OnePlus Z, it's supposed to have that punch hole camera in the middle. Now going back to what I said, the OnePlus Z, which is supposed to be announced or come out in July, supposedly. Like I said, it has the punch hole in the middle of the display, which I think is better than the corner because it's not just off to the side. It's where no notifications or status icons are going to be, which is much better. But it's supposed to have the Snapdragon 765 instead of the 865, so it should be much cheaper because it has the integrated 5G instead of needing another 5G modem. So that'll keep the cost down. It's probably going to be made of plastic, but that's fine. It's supposed to have an AMOLED display, 90 Hz AMOLED display, which is totally fine. And it'll probably be significantly cheaper. Maybe OnePlus 7T, the same price, or maybe even less than that. It's supposed to have a triple camera setup. I would assume since the regular 8 did not have all three, it'll probably just have an ultra wide, a regular, and then a macro or low light camera or something like that. But if it has all three, that would be fantastic. But if you're looking for a cheaper OnePlus phone right now, either go with the OnePlus 7T from last year, which is discounted now. I think it's $500, or wait for the OnePlus Z, which is supposed to come out in June. You only have to wait a good 2 months for that. So that's just my opinion. Obviously, you can do whatever you want, but if you want a budget OnePlus phone, that's what you should do. If you want a budget Android phone, there's always the Pixel 3a that's out right now, and the Pixel 4a that is supposedly coming out this month. So that's all I had to say about that. Thank you for joining me on Tea Time.